NATO is a child of the Cold War. When it was founded in 1949, there were 12 members.
Imagine a world where the bedrock of Western security crumbles. What if the United States, the mighty eagle, suddenly abandoned its nest in NATO? This video explores 3 chilling scenarios that could erupt in the wake of such a dramatic exit. Will Europe rise as a powerful, united defense force? Or will a new Cold War engulf the continent, with alliances shifting and tensions soaring? Perhaps a fractured NATO gives birth to a multipolar world, where regional powers scramble for dominance. But before we get started, don't forget to like and subscribe. In the wake of the United States' unexpected departure from NATO, Europe finds itself at a crossroads. Faced with the pressing need to fill the immense void left by the American military, European nations rally together to form a more integrated and formidable European Defense Union, EDU. In a surprising twist, the departure of the US from NATO acts as a catalyst for unprecedented European unity. What was once a distant dream of a unified European military force becomes a pressing reality. The European Union, often criticized for its bureaucratic inefficiencies, rises to the challenge, demonstrating remarkable agility and resolve. The EU increases its defense spending dramatically, with Germany and France taking the lead. They develop cutting-edge military technology and enhance their nuclear capabilities. Smaller nations, initially apprehensive, find strength in collective security, contributing to a robust defense network. The EDU begins joint training exercises, sharing intelligence, and conducting operations with newfound coordination. Russia, observing this newfound unity, approaches the European Union with more caution. The geopolitical landscape shifts as Europe emerges as a major military power, capable of defending its interests independently. While the transition is not without challenges, political disagreements and financial burdens, the overall effect is a stronger, more resilient Europe. The continent no longer relies on the United States for its security, instead standing tall as a united front in the global arena. The US exit from NATO sends shockwaves through the international community, creating a power vacuum that Russia and China are eager to exploit. Eastern European countries, in particular, find themselves vulnerable and anxious about their future security. Imagine a chessboard where the king suddenly vanishes, leaving the pawns exposed. Eastern Europe becomes the battleground for influence, with former Soviet states feeling the chill of a new Cold War. Poland, the Baltic states, and Romania quickly seek new alliances to deter Russian aggression. They turn to the United Kingdom, which remains a staunch supporter of European security despite Brexit. Together, they form a new coalition known as the Baltic Atlantic Security Initiative, BASI, focusing on regional defense and rapid response capabilities. The United States, although no longer part of NATO, strengthens its bilateral relations with these nations, providing military aid and conducting joint exercises. This move signals to Russia that the US remains committed to European security, even if not through NATO. China, seeing an opportunity, deepens its economic and military ties with Russia, forming a strategic partnership that challenges Western influence. The global balance of power becomes more polarized, with distinct blocs emerging: the Western-aligned BASI and the Sino-Russian axis. International trade and diplomacy become arenas of competition, with countries worldwide navigating the new geopolitical landscape. The world is thrust into an era reminiscent of the Cold War, marked by proxy conflicts, espionage, and a constant threat of escalation. The departure of the United States from NATO triggers an existential crisis within the alliance. Member states are divided on how to proceed, with some advocating for increased European integration and others seeking new partnerships. NATO, once the bedrock of Western security, finds itself at a critical juncture, much like a ship adrift in stormy seas without its captain. The alliance must navigate treacherous waters to find a new course. Some nations, particularly those in Western Europe, push for greater cooperation with the European Union, transforming NATO into a more European-centric organization. Others, like Turkey and Hungary, explore alternative alliances, including closer ties with Russia and China, driven by their national interests and regional ambitions. The fragmentation within NATO leads to the creation of multiple, smaller security pacts. The Nordic countries, for instance, form the Northern Defense Accord, NDA, focusing on Arctic security and countering Russian influence in the region. Southern European nations, facing threats from the Middle East and North Africa, established the Mediterranean Defense League, MDL, to address regional instability and migration issues. Meanwhile, the United States redirects its strategic focus towards the Indo-Pacific region, strengthening alliances with Japan, South Korea, and Australia to counter China's growing influence. This shift reflects a broader reorientation of U.S. foreign policy, prioritizing economic and military competition with China over traditional transatlantic ties. The new global order is characterized by a complex web of alliances and partnerships, with no single dominant power. This multipolar world presents both opportunities and challenges, as nations navigate a more fragmented and unpredictable international system. While the U.S. leaving NATO would herald significant changes, forcing Europe to re-evaluate its security strategies, creating new alliances, and reshaping the global geopolitical landscape. Each scenario presents a different path, highlighting the complexities and potential consequences of such a dramatic shift in international relations. The future, as always, remains uncertain, but these scenarios offer a glimpse into the myriad possibilities that could unfold.